Alrighty, so you guys are tuned in to Stay Fishy Friday with your boy here, Josh.
Got Big Rich from Hot Fish Rescue. Here,
And
there you
Robbz from
go.
the Aquarium Guys podcast.
Our special guest tonight is Robbz. In case you didn't hear him, I was talking. I'm sorry about that. From the Aquarium Guys podcast. You guys remember him as the guys that come in and made us a what was it?
GoFundMe.
GoFundMe. I didn't even ask him, and he made up the GoFundMe for me to help pay for Tracy's bills. And before the first bill come in, he brought us over $7,000. So thank you, Robbz. You are a godsend, my brother.
It's all the donators that did it, and to my community that helped me start it.
Yes, love to them all.
So before anyone says something, yes, we know we are still a little blurry. We're still waiting on the new webcam. That's the last bit of technology we're waiting on. Everything else should run smoothly. Audio, visuals, everything. No timing out. So we should be good on that end. Let's get into some fishy talk.
No. First, we're going to tell them about Tracy.
Well, that's part of the fishy talk.
But I want you guys to know that I broke a rib at my age trying to do the wiring under this table. And I fell onto the table leg. I'm laughing because it's retarded. But yes, I broke a rib, and it hurts to sneeze, to laugh, to hiccup. Oh my God, I got the hiccups yesterday, and I was just blown away. I was screaming out loud. It was crazy. But as far as Tracy now, here. Oh wait, I'm supposed to have Tracy on the background here. Let me get that up there. Tracy slideshow. There we go. Now, as far as Tracy, here's what's happened so far. It's been a week and like 3 days, and they wouldn't tell me anything. You know, when I was there, I noticed something different every day that she was doing. The last thing she did was she moved her leg and bent her knee and moved her foot, a good 2 foot, and bent her knee. She'd never done that before. Now, every time I call, all they say is, "Oh, no change." They're not spending the time with her that I was. They're not giving her the care that I was. You know what I'm saying? And now here's another thing that happened. They moved her. The funding ran out for the first hospital because Medicaid will only pay for 28 days. We have to pay 20%. Medicaid covers the other. But they're only paid for 28 days. And if they couldn't get her off of the breathalyzer, where's my mind at? The breathing machine, the ventilator. Then, she has to be moved to another situation. Well, they moved her 45 minutes away to Avon now. She's out there in Avon, and they have an ICU there. She has to be on ICU because of the ventilator. So I have not seen her, nor do I know where she's at other than her room number. And I don't know any of the nurses there. It's like it keeps just getting worse and worse, And they tell me every day now for 2 days that there's no change. We called today and we're like, is she still getting the same medicines? And I asked the nurse to tell me what medicine she's getting. And they got to the narcolepsy medicine because you all know Tracy has narcolepsy. And they said only 200 milligrams. I'm like, no, I just went through this for 3 weeks with the last hospital. She's been on for 12 years, 500 milligrams twice a day. And Tracy's got narcolepsy. A lot of you may not know or whatever. But without the narcolepsy medicine, she was just dead asleep all day, all the time. So she was given this amount of narcolepsy medicine, and she can perform normal and act normal. A lot of you guys don't even know she had narcolepsy. But she has to be at that level. Now, here's the problem. The first time she went in for, we got into an accident, a four-wheeler accident, and she broke her hips. Well, they had to take and put bars sticking out of her skin and then put them together with other bars and bolts and stuff. And they took her off her medicine. I told her, do not stop her medicine. The doctor said that this is a medicine you have to wean off. You cannot just stop. Well, Tracy went delusional. She didn't know who me or the kids were for 3 months. And in that 3 months, we were just taking care of her. She was in her wheelchair. She did not know anything. She didn't know who I was. I'd ask her where your husband is, and she'd be like, "Oh, that asshole's outside." Now, I'm trying not to swear, but I'm giving you the words that Tracy is. Well, that's not Tracy. Tracy don't act like that. Tracy don't talk like that. So, she took on a different personality. 3 months later, she woke up and she's like, Rich, what is this? And she's pointing at the bar sticking out of her. And I start explaining the bar. I'm like, wait a minute. Wait. You know my name. And she's like, of course I know your name. And she was back. I'm like, oh my God, Tracy, you're back. Well, this whole delusional period took 3 months. And then by noon, she was gone. The next day, I had to tell her the same thing over again. She woke up, didn't know what had happened, because by noon she was gone. Then the next day by 1 she was gone again. Next day by 2 she was gone. It took like 30 days to get her completely back to where she remembered everything every day. It was like 50 first dates. It really was. And every day I got to give her her washer and dryer, because all my life I gave her, we always bought $50 washer and dryers off of Craigslist. But this time, because we bought the new house, I bought her a brand new red front load washer and dryer up on the drawers, and it was beautiful. And she cried every day that I gave her this. It was just beautiful. So I got to give her this gift every single day. Well, that was when we got introduced to delusionalism. And it happened one other time, and it took 3 months for her to come back. So this hospital, I told them, you cannot stop giving her narcolepsy medicine. And they stopped. So now a lot of this thing of her not opening up or not waking up is because she's in a delusional state and sleeping, because they're not giving her her narcolepsy medicine. So we just got it figured out with Regency Hospital, and they're giving her the 500 milligrams twice a day. And now they move her to Avon, and now they're not giving it to her. I was on the phone today for about an hour. Me and Josh were arguing. We're giving them the doctor's numbers, the pharmacy's numbers, to prove that she's been on this for 12 years, And it just, we're going to see. But they said probably nothing till Monday. So she's going to go back into a delusional state again. And, it's so frustrating because I can't be there and take care of her. But the one good thing is they do go in there and do range of motion every single day. So they move the wrist, they move the fingers, they move the elbow, they do the arm extensions, and the same thing with the legs. And that's all I was doing, because the last hospital didn't do that. They signed off on her because she was not aware. She was in a coma. She's in a vegetative state. She needs her body stretched. So I'm sorry for going on a little bit about this, but it's passionate in my mind, and she needs this care, So that is the update I have on Tracy. Other than that, I call every day and they tell me, oh, there's no change. Well, every single day I was there for the last 39 days or 42 days it was, I saw a difference every single day, and now there's no change. I don't believe that. They're not there with her and seeing and doing with her to notice that today she's moving her feet. She hasn't done that before. The last day I was there, she took her feet and she touched her toes together. And I'm like, well, that's new. She wasn't doing that before, and that made me happy. And it's really frustrating with this whole thing going on out here in the world that I can't see her and take care of her, I feel like I'm her protector, and we're together, and I gotta protect her. That's my job, and I'm not allowed to. It's horrible. Okay, so let's end this, Josh.
All right, so you heard a little update on my mom. Let's start getting some fishy questions on the chat tonight. I do thank you guys.
I got one ready.
Alrighty. Well then, take on over, big guy.
All right, when you go to a house to do a fish rescue, do you ever tell the owner off for letting the fish get into such states or bad living conditions?
No, we never shame anybody, because ultimately they chose the right choice and they called us. So if we go there and it's under ridiculous circumstances, it doesn't matter. I never shame anybody. We take the fish, we get it here, we know we're moving it to a better place. And, they may be broke, they may be, not knowledgeable of fish, whatever the reason could be, we don't shame people. We go there, we pick up the fish, we make friends with them, let them know they can come see them until we rehome them, and we just don't shame people. They're doing their best, and their best may not be our best. That's okay. We go there and we get the fish and we bring them and we get them a better home. That's what matters. Why would you want to shame somebody for calling you? That's a big thing with YouTube. I put on let's go with this Betty video, the pacu, the biggest pacu out there. So many people were berating the owner, but he was a genuinely nice guy. And, in his world, he didn't know something like we existed. And, he didn't want to give it to a pet store that's going to put it in a 75 or 150 gallon tank and then put it up for sale for ridiculous high amounts, So he did what he thought was best, and now he's getting persecuted by the internet. And, I'm trying to not make him feel this way. It's a good video and people like it, but they're persecuting him. And I don't want to shame people for what they did do. I want to give them praise for what they ended up doing,
Alrighty, next question.
So next question, maybe Josh can get this one. How's Betty in Pittsburgh doing right now?
Oh, see, I saw that question. I wasn't going to bring it up because I didn't want to make Matt mad because the first fish they ask about is Betty in Pittsburgh and not Brutus. So just pointing that out there. But
him and Matt's got this thing going on between them. It's crazy.
Yeah, me and Matt will go back and forth. So if you watch both our videos, I'm doing digs at Matt. He's doing digs at me. And it's just one hilarious thing. If you guys have been following from the beginning, you guys know. But both Pittsburgh and Betty are doing great.
Yes.
Betty's eating wonderfully. Pittsburgh gets his clams once a week. Then he gets meats the rest of the week. I can't really say much else about that.
If we see Pittsburgh, his teeth continuing to grow more, we'll feed him more than once a week of clams.
Of course.
And if not, if they're getting too small, we can feed him every other week of clams. But he eats anything we throw in there. He's a happy camper.
So how is the Abba knife? We haven't seen him in a while. And how big is he?
What's he, about 18 inches?
No, he's
2 foot?
26, I'd say.
Is he?
He's pretty big. It's getting to that point where I'm like, he needs a new tank.
I do believe that. I agree with you there. I look at him and he sits there and he's got these fins and he just goes back and forth, and I'm like, he needs a new tank, a bigger tank. I didn't realize he's getting that big, but the tank is 4 foot and he's more than half of that. Mm-hmm. So he's got to be over 2 foot. I'd say he's 28 to 30 inches. Yeah, you're right.
What is the key word for tonight?
The key word for tonight for our underground drinking people. Hey, Robbz. How you doing, buddy? This is our special guest, Robbz, from the Big Aquarium Podcast. But the key word tonight is Robbz. Anytime somebody talks to Robbz or says Robbz or I say Robbz, that's what, 9 drinks right there.
We'll do that as one, just for the start of this.
Okay. Everybody consume.
We will compromise the 3.
All right.
All right. Oh, we got Team Pittsburgh in the house.
Nice. Oh, one other thing I want to hit on. Can I tell them all about the entertainment lawyer and all that?
Not yet.
Ah.
You don't want to get ahead of the gun and end up jinxing ourselves. But there's big plans in the works, guys.
There's big plans because we got hit up by production companies. So I'm not going to tell them about everything. But we got hit up by 2 different production companies wanting to do a show for us on, Nat Geo Wild or Animal Planet. But the man himself, Greg Woodstock, got involved. He says, I heard this. I want to tell you. I did a show for 1 season. And they did. They were called the Pond Stars. They did a show, and he said, in all this craziness and all this madness that was going on, I had one guy in my life that made everything better. And he says, that was my entertainment lawyer. So he gave me the number to his entertainment lawyer, and now I've talked to him. He sent a contract out to us, and we're signing this contract. I believe in how he is and what he's doing and what he wants to push. And I like that. Now, so we're signed with an entertainment lawyer at this point. We have 2 production companies interested in us, but we're sending them the entertainment lawyer's information. So we're going to go from there. But there is big works in the you know.
You guys have heard something awesome. There's something more awesome in the works, if that's even a right grammatically correct.
More awesomer.
More awesome. Awesomer, awesomeness, however you want to put it. It's freaking awesome.
my engineer of his son, he's got such a good grasp on the English language.
Hey, I'm sure everyone here is following along. All right, so we got. Go ahead.
Oh, I apologize. We got a super chat in from Joe Rockwell for $5. Glad I can spend my Friday night with you guys. Missed you guys.
Joe, I mean, you're family, brother. You've lived here, you've been here, you've hung out here, you've driven here, and it's awesome to be able to spend Friday nights with you guys.
He's
That's
left
awesome.
his toys here, everything.
Oh, you stop with that.
All right, moving on.
Next super chat. Craig Cooper for $5. I think that's $5 anyways. There's a pound symbol. Hi from, I'm going to butcher the pronunciation, Cardiff, South Wales in the UK. I love your videos and they really helped me in the past. Good luck with the future TV shows.
Awesome, buddy.
Well,
thank you very much.
One thing I have to say about that is a lot of you guys are worried if, we happen to go on TV, we're going to be sellouts and we're going to be this and be that. One thing we can promise you guys is we're still going to be us. That's one thing we're going to negotiate in our contract. If you want to put us on TV, we're going to be who we are and real to, our crowd of people.
Here's what I told them. I'm not going to do a scripted show like you guys, made other people do. You can follow us around and be a docu-series. Follow us around and show the people what we do. They're interested. Trust me. That is what I'm interested in. I'm not interested in trying to make money and do whatever they say to do. We're not like that,
You could be the next Tiger King, like that guy on Netflix.
Oh my God, no. Okay. Oh my God, I can't believe you just said that.
Oh, I should have put the picture of Joe up here as the Tiger King.
Right. No. Dude, I have so many more ethics and morals and common sense than that crazy show. I couldn't even watch past the second series. I was like, this is just too dumb. That girl being accused of feeding her husband to the tigers.
Oh, it happened.
Oh, yeah.
He's still missing to this day, and it's just crazy.
Crazy
it's
story.
dumb.
But I got some more super chats that came in. We got SC Aquatics with $20. Thank you. It says, see you next Friday with a smiley face.
All right.
Oh, let's tell them about that.
So,
SC Aquatics is who you guys want to make sure you're subscribed to, along with Robbz from the Aquarium Pod Guys on their
Aquarium Guys podcast.
Is it? I keep messing.
You know what?
up,
We're
Robbz.
going to change our name to the Aquarium Pod Guys.
I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead, Josh.
But Steven, as you guys know, he is creating the stands right now. The 1,000-gallon stand is done. He will be bringing it up next Friday. So you let me be. You do your own thing. I'll do my own thing, okay? So next Friday, we will have the stand for the 1,000-gallon. And we should be getting that up and rolling. So my thoughts on this is we'll have the 700, the 1,000, and the 500 all filling with water on the exact same day. So you're not going to see one done and then the other. You're going to see them all done, 3 separate projects, all the same time, all plumbed in, all filled with water on the same day. And then we fill them with fish.
Awesome.
Wait, I've seen one thing. I got to say something. We got a bunch of deleted comments here. Gracie IG 52.
All right. We're going to chime in. The Outer Trek chimed in with another $5 super chat. Hello from Youngstown, guys. What species has been the hardest to keep in your experience? ... Robbz ... Team Tracy.
I would say the goonch.
Do I have to drink too?
Yes. The goonch are very hard to keep, But there's probably a lot of fish out there that are, expert level fish. Discus are very hard to keep, but they're not as hard to keep as people thought. The goonch are hard to keep because most people don't know that they are a cooler temperature fish. They like their water cooler than 72.
And a lot of water running past them.
And water flow. They live in high flowing rivers. So you have to basically replicate their natural environment if you want to have them have a nice, long, and healthy life. I mean, the same thing goes for armadas. If they're in a river type scape and they have a lots of flow, they're going to grow faster. And that's what people don't always understand in the aquarium hobby. All right. So, next question.
Next super chat. Tim Childs is for looks like $5. Before I get too drunk, anyone know a good hangover cure? The drinking game is always good. So I've been told by my fans to mix, fish flake, grind it up, and mix it in breakfast juice. I don't really recommend that. So you guys gotta have something better.
Oh my God.
Slow down, my friend.
Slow down. Lots of water. Okay, you gotta let's go.
Hydrate.
You gotta hydrate. Thank you. No, you guys gotta understand. I had brain surgery, so sometimes I forget a word, and I'm trying to remember it. Like
Look, wait, move your head. Move your head. The little rainbows are sitting there doing their mating dance right there.
Oh yeah, they are. I told you they were mating. That's in our 150 gallon up front. They are definitely mating. But anyways, let me tell you this.
Brain surgery.
That's awesome.
I had brain surgery. My skull stopped growing and my brain got bigger, and it was painful. I would pass out on the toilet, stuff like that. It was just very painful. I couldn't scream and yell and have fun at concerts. I would drop to my knee and hold my head. So they did brain surgery, and I lost a lot of memory. So a lot of times now, I'll be like, "Hey Josh, can you pass me that yellow thing right there? You write with?" He goes, "This pencil?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's it. Can you pass me the pencil?" So I forget words like that. Now my memory's a lot better than before because I write down everything and I live by a list to do. But that's just something that's happened and I have to deal with it. So deal with it with me.
Well, next super chat we got Willstar7 with $5. Awesome. What up, guys? Still ready to volunteer whenever needed. I live in Cleveland. Would love to see a walleye muskie LM bass predator tank.
Me too. We've got a largemouth bass now, and I would love to see a muskie, a pike, walleye tank. I would love that. That's just the ultimate predators right there. And if you live in Cleveland, how come you're not hanging out here and helping out?
He's been trying to get a hold of us, and right now we've got this whole problem.
Social distance.
Yeah. So we can't accept volunteers to the public right now because the governor shut us down. But once we do open up and start operating back as normal, we will be okay, and you are more than welcome to come and volunteer anytime. We do have you starred in our chat. You've seen we did reply to you after last week, so be patient, my friend. And as always, stay fishy.
So we're getting a bunch of super chats in, so let's start cranking them out, guys. Okay. I'm gonna try to. Audrey Sampson for $5 says feeding the Phoenix barbs for the evening. Also giving some love for Brutus, who should be the OFR mascot.
It's kind of up in, it's so hard.
It's there.
We've got Betty, we've got Pittsburgh, and we've got Brutus. Everybody loves them, so you've got so many people wanting this one, so many people wanting that one, and it's hard for us. Right now, they're all our mascots. They're all our loved fish, We take care of all of our fish the same, but the problem is the public loves a certain fish. Well, can we tell them what we're doing with the 500?
No.
Oh, come on.
Because that's not guaranteed. I don't really like that idea.
Whoa.
Oh.
So we're on a debate
I have a
here.
suggestion.
Yes, sir.
So, like any good baseball team or football team, right? They're the players. Like the stars are the fish. Why don't you actually get a suit and have a real mascot for OFR? That's what I'm saying. Have some of these volunteers put on the
he can
suit,
wear it.
go to events, parades, have some fun.
I don't know. Our mascot will be pretty big, so you might have to wear it.
Oh.
We'll take that mantle. All right, next super chat is Whips World for $10. Here's to when we can leave our homes again. So I'm bringing my 14-inch arrow out to you guys. I'm hoping to meet you guys, get a tour, and maybe even go swimming with the fishes.
Hey, we welcome that. We bring your trunks with you. We have no problem with that. We love that, and thank you for the $10 super chat. We appreciate that. Get a hold of us when this whole
thing is over.
Good words.
So super chats. Are Speedos encouraged?
Family
friendly place. No Speedos.
All right.
No
Rob
drunk
Shealy
swimming.
for $10. How is the koi Matt brought up? Buy some koi food. They eat a lot. # Team Tracy.
Well,
awesome.
The koi actually went through a hastily quarantine.
That was very hastily.
And it was about a week, but we heavily dosed them with antibacterial, anti-parasite, and antifungal.
But they showed up in really good shape. So we just did it for precautionary.
So now they are swimming with about 150 friends.
Yeah.
So
I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. I'm mesmerized by your wallpaper. I don't know how you planned that. You just told those two fish to breed in the background for you for the live stream. You can't get better than that.
And how does that turn out to be your two favorite fish?
Absolutely, I love rainbows. Shout out to Gary Lang.
So what you're telling me is we just put fish porn up on behind
Fish
us.
porn. We are 18 and over. Fish porn.
All right.
So, PM Boris Johnson gave $2 with no message. Thank you, Mr. Johnson.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
I'm trying to go through some other questions here. Here it is. Oh, it went away. Will my 9-foot by 2x2, 5-foot tall tank good enough for a peacock bass for long-term care, in your opinion?
Wait,
so again, that's 9
by 2x2, but it's 5 foot tall. That don't make no sense.
Yeah,
that's
that's contradictory.
Regardless, a 2-foot deep tank will not be good for any peacock bass long term.
I've got a Temensis peacock bass in our freezer that is 36 inches. So you want the tank to be bigger than the length of the fish for a long-term period, and that way, no matter how big they grow, they can still turn around and all that. Bass, now it's different. Like for a fire eel, he can go up and turn around instantly and come back. He don't need that wide a tank. But a peacock bass goes up and he turns around and he comes back, like a pacu. They don't bend very easily. You need more of a depth for them. Definitely least, the minimal is the width of the fish, or the length of the fish for the width of the tank. And, I seen this one guy on the internet, and I love this video. He's feeding his peacock bass, and they are, I'm telling you, they're this tall. They're taller than Josh's head. And they're about, I'd say 30 to 34 inches long, and he's feeding them, and they're just massive. And he's got them in a 1,200-gallon tank, and they look small. They look too big in that tank. But it's 4 foot from front to back and 10 foot long. And, I don't remember how tall it was. But yeah, bigger is always better. So if you can get bigger, go better, or don't buy the fish that get that big. Regular largemouth bass don't get that big. They get up to, 15, 18 pounds at the record or something. Peacock bass get big. Temensis get up to 36 inches,
Monos, we've had them over 33 inches. So you guys think just a common mono, they still get huge.
Yeah.
Azuls can still get over 2 foot. They all get huge. So again, next
Joe
question.
Rockwell just messaged, I have an OFR Speedo. It's actually tighty whities with a sticker on the back.
Joe, put the sticker on the front and you're still not allowed to wear it.
There you go. We just got a super chat in. from Kaler's Aquatics for $10. Prayers ongoing.
Aw, thank
Aw,
you.
thank you. That's sweet.
So yeah, with all this going on right now, and the things that happen with my mom, it's just like one after another. Bad news, more bad news. Here's a little more. Your fish tank breaks, a fish dies, and pumps go out, and they're just like showering you with
Dad
bad
breaks
stuff.
a rib on top of his broken
No,
foot.
that was a masturbating accident.
Oh, stop it! Why would you say that? Oh my God! I was setting up this computer
I know, we already
that I
said it.
built, for you guys. Don't listen to this guy. This is crazy.
Robbz thought it was
All right,
funny.
next.
Wait, I did say Robbz.
Oh, that must.
You did.
You guys got to consume.
Oh, okay. There we go. So, why don't you install cameras over the fish tanks and leave it for people? I'm sure a lot of people will donate 24/7. Good source of income for finance talking. I think it would be
Should
a
I
great
tell
idea
them
to
the
have
reason?
cameras over your tanks, but
For one,
only for your VIP people.
Well, we could do that probably on Patreon.
yeah.
We actually can.
Absolutely.
We can do that for Patreon. We can't do it for
Yeah, you're part of
YouTube
Patreon.
because it'll count against us. Your viewership,
Your view duration, your view count, all these things that keeps you in the algorithm and trying to grow, which helps us fund the
it
rescue
would
and
fight us and
Exactly.
make us not grow. So we can do it in. That's a great idea. We should start in Patreon and do live streams. What else could we give our special people that donate through Patreon?
Joe and a Speedo.
Joe Walker.
No. Ow.
I'm
That
just
was his
saying.
rib.
So that's a great idea. Thank you guys for bringing that up to me. I think we're going to implement that. We're going to do the live stream videos on Patreon because even if you just donate $1 a month and it's taken out of your bank account automatically, you donate $1 a month, you can watch these streams. We can put them up
Right,
there
but
without hurting us,
just
you know. On YouTube, we put them up. They hurt us and count against us, and that kind of stuff. So that's a great thing. I like that.
All right, next super chat. SE Aquatics, $5 more. Ladies, I guess, gentlemen, Matt is still single. Let's help this fella out.
Stephen Conroe, you are amazing. You are a friend of the rescue, and now you're trying to get Matt hooked up. That's just awesome of you. And you keep throwing super chats. You're great, okay?
And you also forgot he's going to be sponsoring the cichlid tank.
Oh, yeah.
And he's going to be the first of its kind. I told you guys before in an earlier live stream, but we are going to start doing sponsored tanks. And if you guys want to go ahead and say promote your YouTube channel or something of that nature, you just want your name
promote
out
it.
there. Anytime that tank's on video, every time you see the cichlid tank now, he's going to have a plaque on it. It's going to say SC Aquatics, and he's
Stephen
going to
Conroe,
donate the food
blah, blah, blah.
to feed the tank.
He's going to, yes, exactly. He's going to take care of all the food for that tank, and that's how he's doing it. But every video we make, it shows him and helps him out and all
So
that.
it's mutually beneficial.
Exactly. So if anyone else out there wants to...
I think as soon as we mass produce it, there's a couple key candidates that are going to want to take certain tanks and have their name plastered on it.
Like the
But
4400 is showing a whole lot
I'm not going
more.
to say names, but
Right.
we know who they are.
The 4400 is going to be shown a whole lot more than the 300 in the corner.
Yeah.
So people, if you want to spend the money and what's the word? Sponsor that tank, and pay for the food for that tank for 1 month. We will put your plaque on there, and we will video it. We will, show off and tell people that you're covering it. That I think is a great idea because
it could be as simple as, hey, we can put your plaque on this tank until you stop. Like if SC Aquatics
right.
only wants to do it for 3
We'll
months.
laminate a QR code. Put it right on the live stream form. We'll figure something out.
right. We can actually have the plaques printed out, and then when we video that tank, we show the plaque and who's it sponsored by. We had Angela
Ruggles.
She's the first person I promised this to. She donated a lot of money and brought up her Pacu, and she was in love with her Pacu. I told her that we're going to open up that 2,000-gallon tank and make it the Pacu tank, and then she's going to be on there as the Angelo Ruggles Pacu tank. You know, I just think it's a great idea all the way around.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take this next one here, Rob, so we don't butcher the name, because I did get yelled at.
Who?
Robbz.
There you go. Consume.
All right, so we got Von Yinzer chimed in with a $5 super chat, and I did get that right. It is Von Yinzer.
All right.
Don't yell at me, because I know I got it right. And he said,
"That's my
so
boy.
How long till baby rainbows are available? LOL, those are some frisky fish. Much love from PGH."
What's PGH?
Good question.
Text us another message and tell us what PGH stands for.
But we don't know how long until baby rainbows are. It's even if they have babies.
I took this video last week, so they may or may not have babies. It looks like they're going to have babies. They may or may not get eaten. We don't know. This is the first we're seeing of this.
There you go. So next super chat is from Joe Rockwell for $5 more for the fish mating in Rich's ear.
So
way to go, Joe.
You guys are watching this, and you'll see one dart off and then dart back, and it looks like it swam right in his ear and not his other ear. It's kind of funny.
Now, Joe also put in another super chat for $2 more, saying, "I'm taking donations on this channel to not wear a Speedo."
Yes. Now them donations will add up.
They will. Hey, fun fact on my podcast, we started a merch store, and I told everybody that if we make X and T-shirts for everybody that they're purchasing, I will put on an Aquarium Guys crop top and take pictures for everyone. We haven't sold a single T-shirt since then, so if you guys want to, you can go to aquariumguyspodcast.com and make me wear a crop top. But yeah, I should have done not to wear a crop top, and I would have sold some
donate to not wear the crop top. Nobody wants to see this.
So Joe Rockwell's got the right idea. All right, next super chat, Austin Bagley for $10. Love your channel so much. I've been growing out a red-tailed cat and building him a pond. You guys are awesome. Always look forward to your videos. Thank you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate them kind words. That's very nice of you.
And the next one is Austin Barnett. He gave us $14.99 and said nothing. So thank you, Austin, just for your generosity.
I think that was Austin Barnhart, maybe. Just so.
Excuse me. You're right. Barnhart, it is.
All right. Thank you, Austin. Appreciate that.
You're the man.
Every little bit helps feed these fish.
Oh, you get the next super chat, buddy.
So we got Von Yinzer chime back in with another $5 super chat. He said, "Pittsburgh, like one of the coolest fish at the OFR." Thanks, Josh.
He is. He's really
You're very
cool.
welcome.
So how do you guys like the new streaming where we got the moving background and you don't see me looking at my computer no more and typing over here? I'm actually looking at you guys because we have the TV here, and under the camera I can read your comments, and it looks like I'm still pointing towards you. You guys let me know how you guys like that. We've tried very hard to make things great for you guys.
I mean, I just love the whole idea that you have a video in the background that you didn't know you had a beautiful pair of rainbows breeding literally in the center of the video. So
there they are. There they are.
They are not shy.
Oh, that's fish porn.
All right. Next super chat. Willstar7, $5 more. Do they make a shorter, longer version of a 75 or 90 gallon tank? It would be used for a saltwater and corals and some fish.
It is called a frag tank. They have plenty of them.
Yes.
There are 4-foot frag tanks, 6-foot frag tanks. But even if you can't find the tank that is, the dimensions you want, you could essentially make your own aquarium or call up a custom aquarium shop and they'll make it for you. And I mean, cost of materials is cost of materials.
They do have them pre-made. They are frag tanks. So if you want a 4-foot by 18-inch, which is what the 75 gallon and the 150 tall, no, that's a 24-inch. 75, 90, and 110, that's what they are. 75, 90, and 110 are 4-foot by 18 inches, and they're just different heights. You can get that shorter as a frag tank and only be, 10 inches high.
That and frag tables are pretty common as well. I've seen a lot of custom rolling water frag tables that are 8-10 inches.
Oh, you see them all over at Aquashella. They're just everywhere. Frag tanks everywhere.
We have Big Rich. Would you cut off your mullet for some money? I feel like this gets answered a lot.
This has been a question that's been asked a lot. I've offered this man some money to cut his hair, and he told me absolutely not. So if he ever did, it would have to be a hefty price. He doesn't really have a set number, but it'd have to be up there. But
it would have to be up there because
Well,
I'm
it's
not
gotta be
doing it
after
for
the
no
new show.
couple $100. You know, this is going to take me 20 years to regrow. I don't know if I have 20 years left. You know what I'm saying? So if you want me to cut it off and you guys want to do that, we can do a GoFundMe, and it's got to be of some sort of something that'll help out the fish in a big way, and then I would do it. Yes, I'd show up
maybe
being
a new building,
bald as Robbz. Take your hat off, Rob.
Oh, let's do that. Yeah.
There he goes. He just cut off all his hair. Look at that.
I'm fuzzy as a teddy bear.
You got more hair than Joe Rockwell right now.
I do. Your face, Joe. This is why I don't wear a Speedo. I'm already covered.
All right, so let's get those fishy questions in, guys. You don't want.
I got another one that just dropped. Jeff, I'm gonna say that BT
Jeff
for $10.
Yep.
Hey guys, did you get the red Atabapo pike cichlids to the rescue yet? Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yes,
you did actually.
They are red Atabapo pikes, and yes, they are awesome.
Can you say that again?
Atabapo.
I love this kid.
And I do believe they are a mated pair because if you look on these Atabapo pikes, one has, a streaming white line down the fins, and one has a darker complexion to it. That tells you, difference between male and female, but they are doing this dance. And I believe if I get them into the right setup and give them their conditions, they could mate for us. And if we get something of that caliber that's breeding and can produce a lot, we could potentially use that as a source of revenue to help fund the rescue.
And get stuff like backgrounds and stuff that we deem as unnecessary because we spend our money on necessities.
Right. So, breeding Oscars and, all the common fish that produce hundreds that are actually sort of a problem for us, that's not good for us to breed, and we don't condone it. But if you get something rare and exotic that we could potentially source out to, local stores around here that don't get big, that aren't super aggressive, that aren't hard to, place in new homes, I think that would just be a win-win all the way around.
I agree. You are a smart man. I don't know who
I got
your
the next
daddy
super
is, but
chat.
he's a smart man for raising you.
So Chad Blocklinger sent $20. Move over, Ron Jeremy. Big Rich is headed for stardom.
We are not going to comment on this, but for those of you that know, they know, and that
We
was
need
kind
a
of
darker
funny.
mustache.
So hey, look at that! We're now inside the 4,400.
There's the 4,400.
There you go. All right, next one is from, look at Robbz. We need a wallpaper with Josh swimming in the tank for $2.
I think that is a wonderful idea, and we could actually get that done. But we could do the pond with the underground 360-degree camera that one of our followers donated to us.
Yes.
We tried to
We've
do
been trying to use
videos
it
with
lately.
it, and when we try and do YouTube videos with it, it kind of just like freaks out the whole camera, and we can't really use it. But I think that would be a perfect idea. You could have it sitting on the bottom 360 view, and I could just be swimming around with these monster fish.
Will you wear a belt and a shirt that covers the butt crack? He has a belt on. You guys should be so happy. He has a belt on.
Still don't work.
Trying
That's
for so
merman
long.
head.
It still don't work. I was born.
Don't forget,
with-
guys, belts can be sent to Ohio Fish Rescue 15563 Cobalt Drive, Strongsville, Ohio. All right. The next super chat is from the Outer Trek for $5. I'm growing out a RTC for my indoor pond
That's a
and
red-tailed
couldn't think
cat.
of a better name than Big Rich. Also, Robbz.
Awesome. Awesome.
Alrighty.
Whoa. You need to Photoshop a picture of us of that fish with a mullet. Otherwise, we don't believe you.
We need the video and the picture, or it didn't happen.
Wait, new product idea. Mullets you can attach to your fish and swim around the fish tank.
Jeez. No, Greg Woodstock come up with it. He wants a Big Rich and Josh and Tracy bobblehead. And
now that I would love.
Dude, I just can't imagine it.
And other people can rescue fish with the OFR right in their truck. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just going like, yep. All right, Mike L for $5. What is your opinions on paddlefish? Cold water monsters never get much love. My dream setup is a monster tank pond with sturgeon and paddlefish.
Well, I do believe, paddlefish are one of a kind. They are one of our favorite fish, but they are so hard to care for and need such unique enclosures. They are a filter feeder, and we've mentioned this before.
Do you guys know what a whalefish is?
A whale shark.
Whale shark. They open their gills and they swim.
Whale are not fish.
They swim and they filter all their gills. They collect all this little microbes and little tiny things. One of the biggest fish in the ocean eat the smallest things in the ocean, and it's crazy, but it is true. And that's what the paddlefish do. They swim around constantly with their mouth open, and their mouth's huge. Their mouth is like 3 times the size of their body, and they just swim around open like that and look for brine shrimp or any other type of thing they can filter feed with. Well, the problem with the home aquarium is they sell them in the pet stores, and they're doomed for death because people want to feed them pellets and whatever, and they don't make it. But we have seen some bigger ones, and we actually raised some. And what we got them to do is they'd flip upside down, and they would take the pellets off the top and then turn back over. And it took us a long time to train them for that. And we had to do it with brine shrimp, and then pellets made of brine shrimp that we froze. So it was really rough. But we got the what fish? Paddlefish to be able to swim upside down and scoop up our food and live that way. But then he got too big for us. This was like 10 years ago. He got way too big. He was like 2.5 foot. We didn't have nothing for him like that, so we gave him to a public aquarium. I would love to have him now, but it's a feeding problem.
If you did like an outdoor koi pond, you could potentially have, because they are from this region, they can be in ponds, and water. They can freeze over. They will go somewhat dormant, but in the summertime, you could also have cultures of Daphnia that grow in this water, and that's free food for them that the koi won't touch. Look at that. The clown knives are fighting in the background.
Are they?
Oh, we got action going on. Talk about that live stream you guys want so much.
There you go.
Was that
more questions?
Onenzer says, woohoo, someone bought Joshy a bell.
There you go.
You guys are going to see anytime this man records, it's still going to happen. So blame him for blaming.
I got him belts now. It will not happen no more. Plus, he grew so tall, all of his shirts are short. I sent him to the big and tall shop to where now all of his new shirts are longer, and he can bend over without abusing crap.
Be sure to donate Super Chat so we can get Josh a salad. Love you. All right, next question. At Robbz, what is the best cushion between a metal stand and a glass tank? I've heard a lot of different people using, soft woods between them. I literally get this industrial foam tape. It's kind of like a 3M compound tape that I cover it with so that you can, number one, when the pressure's on, it sticks nice, but you can also slide it a bit when it's empty. That really protects glass from getting scratched by it. It essentially gives it a nice pad, and you can hide it. What do you guys use for metal stands?
People with glass tanks, larger glass tanks, always use like a half-inch piece of styrofoam, and they set it on the stand. They put the tank on there, and they cut off the excess, and that will take up any defaults in your measurements of levelness, and it helps out.
If if you have someone who builds your stand correctly,
You shouldn't need it, right?
Level, you can just put that tank right on the stand, which is what we normally do. But like you said, wood and styrofoam.
Wood is forgiving. Styrofoam is very forgiving. So if you need styrofoam between your tank, you're not leveling your stand correctly. Plus, here's the thing.
Or building it. Correct.
Right. You got to really put your tank on the stand and add some water to fill it up with some weight, and then measure before you fill your tank up to make sure that your stand and your wood don't settle and one corner goes down low. That's the corner that's going to fail on you. So you need to really think about this as you're filling this up. And then we've taken fish tanks where we've filled them up 6-7 times, and then finally it's full and completely level and no stress on any corner. It's all even. That's what you'd want.
Well, there's an old saying, measure twice, fill your tank once.
I never heard that.
No?
Go big or go home, fill it the first time and you're done.
Stop it.
There you go.
He's lying.
Anastasia Snell sent in a super chat for $10 from Troy
thank
and
you.
Anastasia. Quartz fish food or whatever you need. Hashtag T Tracy. Oh, and Robbz.
Oh, that's 5. Consume 5
There's
people.
technically 6 Robbz.
That is 6.
That's 6 now.
Oh, that's 7 now, but technically she said 6.
Okay, Lori Baker says, got my Team Tracy leggings and stickers. Love them at Ohio Fish Rescue. Well, thank you for, I appreciate that. I worked on hard to make everything that Tracy loved into the leggings. And Robb's old lady actually bought a pair. And I was like, oh my God, I don't even have one. I don't even have one. I have to get some. So I had to order a pair because we don't keep the stock on hand now. We order through Teespring and they print as you go. So I had to buy a set for Tracy for when she came home. She's got her leggings and her matching shirt now. And I can't wait to just show her.
It's the only time it's socially acceptable to send my wife's derriere in a picture to someone.
Listen to this. Ted Shelty says Josh's crack is almost as iconic as Rich's bullet.
There you go.
Oh.
It's only this guy filming because he always points at the damn ground.
He knows where the money's at.
Oh, that's funny.
K Stu sent in a super chat with $5. Have you ever had a Royal Pleco or any other rare Pleco?
We have a bunch actually. Royal Plecos, not so much. We usually just give them back out. We've had a bunch in the past. We've had them over 12, 15 inches. But right now we do have a couple rare Plecos. We have the Pseudocanthicus serratus. We've got males and females of them.
We're trying to breed them.
He asked what we have.
Oh, okay. Got you. My bad. I'm sorry.
And I never mentioned anything about selling Plecos either. I said we give the Royals away.
Yes.
But the Pseudocanthicus serratus, which we got from Jim Kitchen, we actually have males and females of them. We're actually trying to get them to breed in captivity. We're not having luck with them because they're super,
Well,
hard
the
to do.
female's a little big and the males are a little small.
But
I say small, but they're like 10, 12 inches.
we also, I think we have the largest, what is he? Adonis Pleco in the United States. Maybe
He's 36 and a half inches.
He's a big boy. And I'd be willing to put money on that because I know the person who brought them in. I made sure that we got the
let's
biggest
give him the
one.
name. That was Gino from Pleco Paradise.
There we go.
You guys get a chance, deal with him. Also, Jason Land from Jason's Plecos and Cichlids. Big time Pleco dealers.
You say that like they're drug dealers or something. But
No.
he got all these big Adonis Plecos that were wild caught, and they were some of the biggest we've ever seen. We got to go there and hand pick ours, and we made sure we've got the biggest and the best Adonis Pleco, and he is just a beast. But guys, I do want to make sure you guys get your questions in tonight because we are closing in on that 8 o'clock hour. We've got another 6 minutes. So get your questions in.
Get your questions in. I may go a little longer. He likes to cut out at an hour.
There have been a few questions asking how that foot is.
On my foot, it's healing. As long as I keep the air cast on, I feel no pain. It's when I take the air cast off and, I try and walk on it and it bends. Oh, that's where the pain comes back, and it's shooting. It's terrible. So I'm still wearing the air cast, and it's been, 5 weeks now? Magically in 6 weeks it's supposed to be cured.
Well, another 6 weeks and you'll be Pat McAfee.
Okay.
All right, so we got another $5 super chat from Jeff Beatty. And he said, how big will Brutus get in the pond? And will there ever be a time in the future that you might have to rehome him? I don't think we will ever have to rehome Brutus because our pond is most of the time bigger than a lot of the enclosures at the zoo.
Look at the two piracus, or they call them, piranhas, arapimas. All three of them names work for the same thing, but the arapimas we saw at the Shed Aquarium were 9.5 foot long, and I'm telling you, they were 2 foot tall and about 1.5 foot wide. They were huge, and they were in a 1,200 gallon tank. It was retarded.
1,200 gallon tank for a 9.5 foot fish?
Yeah, it was only 10 foot wide and about 4 foot deep, and they were laying sideways in there. It wasn't big. It was guys, look at the Shed Aquarium. I could be wrong on the size. I'm guessing on that, but I thought it was way too small for those two 9 foot arapimas. We've got ours in a 20 foot by 40 foot by 7 foot deep pool. He's going to get big, and so is all of his brothers, the BB brothers. What's the younger names?
Brutus, Bruiser, Bubba, and Bowser.
And Bowser, right? They will not outgrow us. At that point, if they do, and here's something that people don't know. Arapimas, okay, look at the Amazon River. It gets 2 miles wide in the wet season, and then in the dry season, it dries up to 70 feet wide. There's little pockets of water everywhere. Arapimas are known for jumping out. People are like, why your arapima jumping? Because he's not feeling threatened. When the water recedes and they get too small of an area, they jump out and look for other places, and then they end up back in the river. That's something people don't really realize. So in our pond, our arapima is not going to jump. Maybe if we got him to 6-7 foot on the indoor pond where we have our stingrays and our albino iridescent shark, then he might want to jump out of there because he's feeling enclosed. But in our big pool pond, the aquascape ecosystem that Greg Woodstock built, they're not going to jump. They're feeling right at home. Go ahead, I'm done.
Well, next super chat, we got Joe Rockwell for another $2. The OFR does not sell fish.
Yeah, we don't sell our fish. We don't take in rescues and then sell them. We find our rescues a home. A lot of the smaller fish, we don't really check into that much. If you want to come by and grab goldfish, grab some rainbows and this and that, everybody's got at least a 20-gallon tank. But now if you want to come by and get a red tail, we want to know that you have, a 1,000-gallon tub, a pool, something that we want some sort of proof. And we'll give them to you free, but we want to make sure that I can give this fish a better home than what I'm giving him now. If he's in a 3,000-gallon tank and you come over and say, I want that 3-foot red tail for my 125, you're not going to get him from us. I'm sorry. And a lot of people have been upset about that, but I'm not going to. I only rehome our fish, and I do it for free. I won't charge you nothing if you can give them a better home than we can. That's what I care about.
Not necessarily a proper home.
A proper home, yes.
Because sometimes we might have a bunch of blood parrots in a 1,000-gallon, but there's someone who has a 150 set up for just blood parrots.
Oh, they can take 5 or so. Yeah.
You're saying a bigger home. I say proper home. A
proper home. He's right.
All right, so that brings us into the next super chat from Calvin's Fishy Life for $5. They said, thought it wasn't possible, but a pair of the blood parrots we got from OFR had fry.
Nice.
In parentheses, B. Ponley Tank. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. That might be a username. But he said that they were gone the next morning. Kenzie and I are praying daily. So that is the thing. Most blood parrot males are sterile, but you do get a few that, aren't sterile and they can breed. But that's just, luck of the draw. That's why I told everyone. They had these blood parrots breeding in massive vats, so they were breeding thousands of them, and they had to have males in there. But usually they do cross blood parrots with Midas cichlid, so take it for what it's worth.
Oakville 09 says, "Hey Josh, how's the eye?"
You guys can't really see because we got a crappy camera right now, but it's healing up pretty nice, I must say. I mean,
Dad did a good job.
People would thought you were winking at ladies at the grocery store.
Dude, that cut was like almost a half-inch open. It was under stress. The skin right here is pulled in all directions. When that cut open, and it's 3/4 inch long, when that pulled open, it was like 7/16 inch wide. It was like gross looking, and I could see fat cells in there. It was horrible. I took and we cleaned them up, and then I pulled it together with the steri strips, and I got it to line back up perfectly, and I used liquid skin to hold it together. It's like super glue for skin, and where the steri strips weren't, and then I removed the steri strips and then put them on where the liquid skin was and held it together, and then I put more liquid skin over. So now he's got back together to where it looks like a little razor slice. That's going to come up with a very small little scar.
All right, so we are past that 8 o'clock hour, but I did promise my boy Robbz up here, and I'm going to say that again. It's Robbz. Robbz is right up there. Robbz, this guy.
Oh, you got to drink when he says Robbz.
He wants to say one last thing before we do sign off for the night. I do hope you guys enjoyed, the new production. It will get better once we get the new camera on, but I'm going to pass it to you, Robbz.
Well, thank you. So just wanted to say thanks for having me on, guys. I've been having fun setting up this stream. It'll continue improving. We're getting another camera going, but just if you guys want to listen to a podcast, right now everybody's, getting unemployed at the moment, but you're at home, you got some time, put on the Aquarium Guys podcast. We're aquariumguyspodcast.com. We just interviewed Taylor from Simply Beta. She's a very popular fish keeper, as you guys are. And I learned this week that betas can be transgender. Did not know that.
You didn't know that?
Kind of blew my mind.
Yeah.
So certainly check it out. There's a lot of fun there. And don't forget, guys, these super chats that are coming through, and we'll read probably a couple more before we go. This really helps out the entire crew, and it helps out their medical bills for broken eye, foot, ribs. It's a strenuous price at OFR, and only these guys can do it.
All right, so before we sign off, there was 2 last super chats. I'm gonna get to them real quick, and then we will say goodnight for the night. So we got Willstar7 said, "Why are red arrows so expensive, and are they legal here?" They are not legal. They are illegal because they are a CITES 1 species. They are expensive because they're illegal. If you go across the border up in Canada, you can get a red-tailed gold for like $500. But I mean, you can get a super red up there for $1,200. But if you hear the people who are selling them here in the States, which is highly illegal, and I don't advise you ever to buy one because they will find you.
They can take your fish from you.
I have a friend who used to have them, and he thought that he was untouchable, and the feds came in, took him, gave him a $50,000 fine and 5 years in prison. So I preach this to everyone. Even though it is a cool fish and you think you're never going to get caught.
Not worth it.
You can potentially get caught. You make the wrong person mad. You slip up on a picture on Facebook. There's a million different reasons, but someone is always out there to get you. So just don't do wrong. If you do right, you can never do nothing wrong, and you'll never get...
That's how we live our life. We don't do nothing wrong.
So we are going to... There's another $5 super chat from Jeff Beatty, and he said, "So if you keep Brutus to maturity, will you need to change his pond mates?" yes, we will have to take some of the smaller fish out as he will
Wait,
stomach
you say
them.
smaller fish? That's
a 2 foot.
The agent says Philip. They're big now, but as he gets bigger, if he can fit it in his mouth, he will. So yeah, we'll have to take out some of the smaller fish then.
All right, so Chris Power chimed in with another $5 super chat. He said, whitefish at the rescue will eventually be the biggest. I'm guessing he meant to say what fish, and that will be the arapaima and the Peroon sharks. Arapaima will eventually get over 8 foot.
How big will the tarpon get?
Tarpon will get about 6 foot.
Okay, the arapaima's got them beat, but the Peroon shark, that's only going to get 6-7 foot, right?
The Peroon sharks can get 7 to 9, but their mouth will be this wide.
They're vicious now. We had to take them out of the 4400 because they ate a 20-inch leporinias?
Yeah, I'd say
18. Okay, they ate that. So
he was
we
24
felt bad.
inches.
Yeah, he's not much bigger than the fish that he ate. So we had to take him out, and now they're in the pool with us with the bigger fish. And he can't fit them guys in his mouth, so he'll just have to go with the food that we feed him. Things happen, and we didn't mean for that to happen. And the leporinius was a rescue fish, and we are definitely sorry about that. There's nothing we can do. Things happen.
The best of us do make mistakes, but we learn from our mistakes, and that's why we put it out there on the video so you guys can learn too. Don't buy a Peroon shark.
Do not buy a Peroon shark.
That is it for tonight, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I just want to say good night and goodbye, and see us next Friday.
You want to send them on to Lucas's show tonight?
That's up to you. I said my goodbyes. You say your goodbyes.
Our buddy Lucas Bretz, he comes on at 9 o'clock. He's full of knowledge, and he helps us out. He brought all them plants you see in that tank behind us, Lucas Bretz brought up from his place, and he's, 4 hours away?
Yeah.
He drove up and
make sure to go to his YouTube chat, put hashtag raid OFR.
There you go. He's a good guy, and at 9 o'clock, he'll have his questions and answer video that he puts out. And our good buddy Chris Biggs, he's going to start back up on his live channel too. So you guys check him out. Thank you guys for joining in and hanging with us. Love hanging out with you guys every Friday night. And we might change this to a little bit longer.
And as always,
stay fishy, my friends.